Hey, Colts fans, welcome to another episode of Conley on the Colts. Your guy, as always, Mike Conley. With the 2023 draft here and gone, I wanted to do a review on the guys that the Colts selected and a little bit of information about each one of these picks. So, all in all, the Colts walk away with 12 players from the 2023 NFL draft. And a lot of these players, man, I really feel are going to be able to make an immediate impact on this team and, quite frankly, fight for a starting role. Very possible on this team. I wanted to say before I get into this that you'll be hearing me say these players' RAS score, which stands for Relative Athletic Score, which is what they test for at the combine. So, getting into this with round one, pick number 4, the Colts select hopefully their future franchise quarterback in Anthony Richardson out of Florida. This guy is just, this gets me excited just talking about him. This guy, I I wanted Stroud. If you've been following the channel, you know that. But Richardson was my number 2. And man, I am really happy that they ended up getting him. I think he is going to flourish so well in Shane Steichen's offense. The thing with Richardson, with him being so raw, only playing 13 games in college, he needed to go. I've talked about this to my brother a lot. Like my brother says, he needed to go somewhere in a system that could really fit him and play to his strengths. And going to Shane Steichen's system is exactly that. I mean, the sky is the limit for this kid. Yes, he's raw. I don't think he's as raw as people think in some of his game. He is very good with his eyes, reading the field, looking off defenders, and he only had, a 58 completion percentage in college. A lot of that was due to his receivers dropping balls. I've watched some tape where guys he puts the ball in a perfect position and guys just are not able to come down with it. But with that being said, Richardson is 6'4", 244 pounds. PFF has a quote. He's the single most impressive athlete at the QB position in scouting combine history. Ran a 4.43 40-yard dash, which was the 4th fastest among QBs since 2000. Highest vertical jump ever, 40.5 inches. Longest broad jump ever, 129 by QB. The guy has a huge arm. Something kind of cool. He had 39 broken tackles last year, which was the 4th most in FBS in 2022. So his RAS score, a perfect 10 out of 10, obviously. If this guy can develop, like I said, and he's going to have every opportunity to under Shane Steichen, under his offense, under the quarterback's coach, it's going to be very fun to watch. Yeah, he's going to have probably a rough first year if they let him start game 1, which it sounds like every indication they're trying to get him ready. It's just going to be to see how it goes. But it's just going to be, there's going to be some wow plays, man. It's going to be so cool to watch. And just being optimistic, having a hopefully a great future at quarterback, and not this getting veterans for a year, guys that are probably getting guys that are a year too late. It's just very, very exciting, very exciting. So next pick, at pick 44, the Colts actually had pick 35, traded back to 38, traded back again to 44, and that's where they stayed, while also getting 2 day 3 picks. But the Colts select at pick 44 cornerback Julius Brents from Kansas State he had an RAS score of 9.99. Give the guy a 10. But very cool. He's a hometown kid. He's a Warren Central graduate. It's just very cool. I love seeing anytime on a team, getting hometown guys, let alone obviously the Colts. So it's pretty cool. He said in some interviews that the Colts were his favorite team growing up, and Bob Sanders was his favorite player, which is very cool to hear. 6'3", 198 pounds, ran a 4.53 40-yard dash, 41.5-inch vertical, which is 1 inch higher than Richardson. 34-inch arms and 82 5/8-inch wingspan. He's very rangy. The guy, you're going to see this a lot with these RAS scores and these draft picks. The Colts went after some freakish athletes. Just very cool. I think Julius Brents has a chance to really be a great starting cornerback for this team starting out. Great size, great movement. Just an all-round freakish athlete. If it's just going to be, I apologize. It's just going to be great to see this kid being a hometown guy and starting for the Colts. So next pick 79. I like this pick a lot. I liked it when it happened. Some people didn't. But pick 79, Colts select wide receiver Josh Downs from North Carolina. The knock on him is he's undersized as a receiver, 5'9" and 171 pounds. Just a little bit smaller than T.Y. Hilton was. So, excuse me. Something very cool, a little correlation just to bring up. Like I said, I brought up T.Y. Hilton's name. Andrew Luck drafted in the first round. T.Y. Hilton drafted in the third round. Developed, as we know, quite a great connection. Anthony Richardson, first round. Josh Downs, third round. It's going to be very cool. This guy is freaking motivated. I'm not sure if anyone had a chance to see the video of the Colts selecting him in the draft and Chris Ballard calling him. Go check it out. The dude's got heart. The dude's ready to work. RAS score of 8.99. The only reason it wasn't a 9 or higher is, like I said, he's undersized. But I think it's fantastic. I think he is going to work great in the Shane Steichen offense. You got Michael Pittman Jr. and Alec Pierce on the outside. Put him in a slot, as well as Isaiah McKenzie. Just as a receiving standpoint, it is fantastic. He posted consecutive 1,000-yard seasons at North Carolina. Totaled 195 receptions and 19 touchdowns. PFF actually, had him as wide receiver 5 on their big board. And he falls all the way down to wide receiver 12. And the Colts got him. What a steal, in my opinion. It's going to be great to watch him. Actually, something cool as well with him is he texted Anthony Richardson over the weekend. They were in town at the hotel they were at, and he texted him like, "Hey man, let's go throw a ball." So for about a half an hour in the parking lot, they said they didn't run any routes, but they were just catching over the shoulder and getting to know each other, building that chemistry, which will hope lead to what I feel is going to be fantastic. Also, Reggie Wayne wanted him bad, told him at the combine that he thought he was the best receiver in his class. And I think a combination of Reggie and Shane, told Ballard, hey, we want this guy, going away from Ballard's typical, 6'2", 6'3", big, lanky receivers with this small guy that just makes contested catches and just gets open. Going to be great to see that. So, next pick. At pick 106, the Colts select offensive tackle Blake Freeland out of BYU with an RAS score of 9.83. Again, you're seeing this trend of these freakish athletes. 6'8", 302 pounds. Actually started at both left tackle and right tackle. Got an overall grade of a 90.9 from PFF. Just to break those numbers down a little bit, 90.7 pass block grade and a 87.3 run block grade. And that pass block grade was seventh highest in the nation in offensive linemen. So if he's not a starter right away, at the very least, you are adding fantastic depth with just tremendous upside and tremendous athleticism. He scored 90 in the 95th percentile of the broad jump, vert jump, short. I'm sorry, the short. I can't say it. Short shuttle, short shuttle, and the 3-cone drill. So he phenomenal athlete. It's going to be great to see. It's, like I said, great competition. That's something Ballard said over and over, that their goal for this draft was to bring in depth and competition. That's something they hugely lacked last year. And anything you can bring into this offensive line is a plus as well. So next, pick 110 defensive tackle. I am going to screw this name up. I'm just going to call him what people have made his nickname, Adi Adi. Defensive tackle out of Northwestern with an RAS score of 9.72, 6'2", 282 pounds. The guy, again, I keep saying it over and over, but it really is true. Athletic freaks upon athletic freaks in this draft. At an 80.3 pass rush grade in 2022. Again, that's due to just blowing guys up with his athletic ability. And I think they'll mainly use him as like a backup to DeForest Buckner on the inside, but they can shift him to the edge with his speed and his quickness. Remarkable combine numbers for Adi. First player to weigh over 280 pounds and run a sub 4.5 40 yard dash. Faster than Julius Brents at being a D tackle. It can be very fun to watch him. If he can, the coaches can get going, it's going to be very, very fun to watch him. Next pick, the Colts at 141 took cornerback Darius Rush out of South Carolina. Another pick. I was seeing Rush's name in a lot of mock drafts earlier, and as someone that I was really hoping they would get, just because, again, athleticism and his size, 6'2", 198 pounds. So he's basically the same size as Julius Brents. Ran a 4.36 40-yard dash. They got him in the 5th round, and he was projected second, third round, man. He does need to grow a little raw. An 80.3 coverage grade in 2022. So something pretty cool. He was only flagged 2 penalties. They weren't pass interference. 2 penalties and 610 snaps. If that can transition to the NFL and he plays at that high a level, this cornerback room is going to be awesome. Awesome. After losing Brandon Faison and Stephon Gilmore to the Cowboys, you needed to at least bring 2 bodies in to that room, and they did two huge bodies, huge lanky athletic bodies. So that cornerback room is just going to be has the potential to be fantastic. Next pick 158. Colts bring in safety Daniel Scott. At first, I was kind of like, why would they draft a safety? But last year, trading your third round pick to go up and get Nick Cross, and he did great in preseason, great in OTAs. Played the first game as a starter, and all of a sudden didn't hardly play anymore all season. So you're not quite sure, what. Hopefully, he takes a step forward and he becomes what they hoped he will be. But you bring in this Daniel Scott, um, RAS score of 9.94, 6'1", 208 pounds. If he does not see a lot of defensive snaps, the guy played 661 special team snaps in college. He ran a 4.45 40-yard dash, 39.5-inch vertical, and actually led all safeties in the three-cone drill with a 6.75. Are you guys getting tired of the word athletic yet? Because that's what the Colts just they said. That guy, that guy, that guy. I like this draft. You're bringing in so much competition, just great stuff. Like I said, if he does not have very many defensive snaps, that's a special teams player right now. Right now. So with next pick at 162, the Colts draft tight end Will Mallory out of Miami with an RAS score of 9.05. Just crazy these numbers that the Colts are getting that on these players on their RAS. 6'4", 239 pounds. This is another room I feel is going to have immense competition. He, as long as cornerback room and tight end room are going to be phenomenal. You got tight end, you got Jelani Woods, Kylan Granson, Malali Cox, Drew Ogletree, who got hurt in OTAs, didn't play all season, but they said he had a better camp than Jelani Woods. And you bring in Farrell Brown to be probably that blocking tight end from the Browns. So this tight end room, like I said, along with the cornerback room, is just going to be crazy. But as far as Will Mallory, he is going to be, from what I understand, pretty much a receiving threat tight end. He didn't really block much in college. I'm not saying he can't learn that, but 14 touchdowns in 58 games, 115 receptions for 1,500 yards. Ran a 4.54, which was the fastest out of any tight end at the combine. Very exciting, that room. Like I said, going to be very exciting to see that. Next pick, 176. Colts select running back Evan Hall out of Northwestern. This dude, I like this dude a lot. I think he could possibly bring so much upside to Shane's offense. This dude runs hard. If you haven't seen his tape, go watch it. Go watch it. I was talking to my brother was telling me today, stepbrother was telling me today that his freaking combine tape, man, he just was running, finishing runs, just going. This kid has heart. Hearing his interviews, he's ready to work. He's ready to contribute. RAS score of 9.32, 4.47, 40-yard dash, 37-inch vertical. Had 488 rushes for 2,417 yards and 18 touchdowns over 37 games. Also caught 94 passes for 854 yards. He can be that check down, for Richardson, getting him comfortable. I really think that he can he can beat out Zach Moss for the number 2 running back if he plays as hard as he has on tape and just has that drive and is able to transition in the NFL as good as I hope he can. The guy is an animal. So with the next pick at 211, Colts select defensive end. I might botch his first name up. Titus Leo out of Wagner. I'm not even sure of that school, but he had an RAS score of 8.48, 6'3", 245 pounds. That's a guy you're banking on. Again, smaller school, you don't know much about him. You're banking on those athletic traits. He he has a chance to be in the rotation, be a rotational player for sure. Next pick, 221st pick, the Colts select another cornerback in Jalen Jones from Texas A&M. RAS score of 8.79, 6'2", 200 pounds. The amount of size that the Colts got out of all three of these cornerbacks is insane to me. Started 32 games. He also played safety and in some punt coverage, so that's a versatile guy. You can move him around special teams. However, he's going to need to fit into this team if he's, with that cornerback room being so competitive. Maybe he fights for some good snaps. Maybe he is your special teams guy, but ran a 4.57 40-yard dash and a 38-inch vertical. And the last guy that the Colts selected in this draft at 236 was offensive tackle Jake Witt out of Northwestern Michigan with an RAS score of 9.80. 6'7", 302 pounds. Actually was a tight end at Northwestern, but when they needed an emergency tackle, he stepped in at right tackle, and also in 2022 went to left tackle. So he has that again, he's bringing in competition to an offensive line that desperately needed it last year. All in all, guys, I think this was a fantastic draft. Not only did you draft positions of need for your team, you drafted players that I really feel can come in and be day one starters for this team or take very meaningful snaps. Great competition, great depth in a quarterback who, again, I feel is the sky is the limit for a lot of these guys. I am just very happy to be a Colts fan, very optimistic. It's just awesome to have all this life, this juice, this all around positive nature right now to be a Colts fan. I give this draft a solid A. I am really happy with it. I am very interested to see how a lot of these players come in and fill these roles. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. I appreciate all the support. If anyone is interested in checking out YouTube, Conley on the Colts, you can check me out also at Twitter at Conley's Pod. And thank you for checking it out. And go Colts.